Hurricane Beryl's destructive path through the Caribbean showcased the sheer power of the storm. Hurricane Beryl was a Category 5 storm that wreaked havoc on the Caribbean islands, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. In early 2024, the first whispers of what would become Hurricane Beryl began to stir over the central Atlantic. The storm started as a disorganized cluster of thunderstorms. Meteorologists monitored the system closely, noting its potential to develop. As days passed, the storm began to show signs of organization. It was not long before it earned the name Beryl. Weather models predicted that the system had the potential to strengthen. The warm waters of the Atlantic provided the fuel it needed. By the time it was classified as a tropical storm, Beryl had already begun to make a name for itself. The storm was moving steadily westward, threatening to impact the Caribbean. The islands braced for what was to come, hoping for the best but preparing for the worst. Communities on the islands started emergency preparations. Evacuation plans were dusted off and supplies were stocked. There was an air of anxious anticipation as the storm approached. Beryl did not remain a modest tropical storm for long. Within days, it began to show signs of rapid intensification. Meteorologists were amazed by the speed at which the storm gathered strength. It quickly escalated from a tropical storm to a hurricane. As Beryl continued its westward march, it reached Category 1 hurricane status. But it did not stop there. The storm's eye grew more defined and its winds increased in intensity. By the time it reached Category 3, it was clear that Beryl was a force to be reckoned with. The storm continued to feed off the warm ocean waters. This allowed it to grow even stronger. Before long, Beryl had reached Category 5 status, the highest rating possible for a hurricane, with winds exceeding 157 miles per hour. It was a monster storm. Islanders watched in horror as the storm approached. Many had never seen a storm of such magnitude. The sense of impending doom was palpable as Beryl bore down on the Caribbean. One of the key factors in Beryl's rapid intensification was the unusually warm ocean waters. The Atlantic Ocean's surface temperatures were higher than normal for that time of year. This provided the perfect conditions for the storm to gather strength. Warm water acts as fuel for hurricanes. It provides the energy needed for a storm to grow and intensify. In Beryl's case, the water temperatures were significantly warmer than average. This allowed it to reach Category 5 status in a remarkably short period. Meteorologists noted that the warm waters extended deep below the surface. This meant that even as Beryl churned up the ocean, it continued to draw energy from the deep. The warm water not only sustained the storm but helped it grow even stronger. The warm waters were a sign of broader climatic changes. Scientists pointed to global warming as a significant factor in the rising ocean temperatures. This was a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of our planet's climate systems. When Hurricane Beryl made landfall, the destruction was immediate and catastrophic. The first islands to feel its wrath were the Lesser Antilles. Buildings were torn apart and power lines were downed. Entire communities were flattened. The islands faced a humanitarian crisis. Thousands were left homeless. Aid agencies rushed to provide relief. Section 5, Personal Stories of Survival and Recovery. Amid the chaos and destruction, personal stories of survival emerged. Maria Sanchez, a resident of Dominica, huddled in her bathroom as the storm raged. The wind roared and the walls shook, but they held on. When the storm passed, Maria emerged to find her home destroyed. But she was grateful to be alive. Despite losing everything, she and her community began rebuilding. The community came together to help each other. These stories were a testament to the strength and resilience of the Caribbean people. Communities rallying together. In the days and weeks following Beryl's devastation, communities across the Caribbean rallied together. Neighbors helped each other clear debris and rebuild homes. There was a sense of camaraderie and shared purpose as people worked side by side. Volunteers from around the world also poured in to offer assistance. Aid organizations set up relief centers providing food, water, and medical aid. The international community responded with shipments of supplies and financial aid, showing solidarity with the affected regions. Local businesses played a crucial role in the recovery efforts. Many offered their services for free or at reduced rates. Construction companies donated materials, while restaurants provided meals for those in need. It was a collective effort to rebuild and restore normalcy. The spirit of unity and cooperation was inspiring. People from all walks of life came together with a common goal: to rebuild their communities and support each other. It was a powerful reminder of the resilience and strength of the human spirit. Infrastructure and economic impacts. Hurricane Beryl had far-reaching impacts on the Caribbean's infrastructure and economy. Many islands saw their critical infrastructure severely damaged. Bridges were washed away, roads were impassable, and power grids were crippled. Rebuilding became a priority. Governments and aid organizations worked tirelessly. Recovery was long and costly. Efforts focused on resilience to future storms. The economic impact was severe. Tourism-dependent economies were hit hard. Hotels and resorts were damaged, halting the industry. The loss of tourism income affected hospitality, retail, and transportation. Rebuilding required significant investment. Governments sought international aid and loans. There was a push to diversify economies and build resilience. The broader implications of climate change. The intensity of Hurricane Beryl highlights the broader implications of climate change. Rising global temperatures lead to more frequent and intense storms. Climate change is causing ocean temperatures to rise, fueling storms. Higher sea levels exacerbate hurricane flooding. The impacts extend beyond hurricanes. Agriculture, water resources, and ecosystems are affected globally. Addressing climate change requires global cooperation and action. The devastation caused by Hurricane Beryl serves as a call to action. It is a stark reminder of the urgent need to address climate change and adopt sustainable practices. The future of the Caribbean and other vulnerable regions depends on it. Governments, businesses, and individuals all have a role to play. Policies that promote renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and resilient infrastructure are essential. Investment in disaster preparedness and response capabilities is also crucial. Individuals can contribute by reducing their carbon footprint, supporting sustainable products, and advocating for climate action. Every small step counts towards a more sustainable future. It is a collective effort that requires the participation of everyone. The lessons from Hurricane Beryl are clear. We must act now to build a resilient future for the Caribbean and the world. By embracing sustainable practices, we can mitigate the impacts of climate change and ensure a safer, more prosperous future for all. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel for more videos.